Hello and welcome to the Averett Sports Network. I'm your host, Chewy Clark. Tonight we have a matchup between the Cougars of Averett University and the Roanoke College Maroons. The Cougars are coming into this one with a 5-7 record, whereas Roanoke is coming in with a 9-3 record. A few stories for tonight are Jason Sellers, grad student, is 36 rebounds away from jumping the 5th place all-times Averett rebounds leader. He is currently sitting in the 6th position all-time for the Cougars. Tonight he is enjoying yet another game, being able to play beside his brother Jackson Sellers, who is currently a freshman. He's had a pretty good season so far. And a few keys for this one is the Cougars, after having a really hot start to the season, have hit a little bit of a road bump, so they're going to be looking to get that momentum back and get things back on track to where they started the season off against a ODAC rival in Roanoke. The Cougars are coming off of a game against Randolph-Macon, where they unfortunately fell 77-54 on the January 4th, whereas Roanoke is coming off of a win against Bridgewater College, where they were victorious 70-48. And with that, we're going to go down to the floor for starters and the national anthem. We'll be back in just a moment.
Possession or consumption of alcoholic beverages is prohibited. Good evening and welcome to Averett University and the Grand Center for tonight's ODAC men's basketball matchup featuring the Maroons of Roanoke College and your Cougars of Averett University. Fans, at this time, we ask that you please rise and honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Tonight's starting lineups first for the visitors from Roanoke College. A senior guard from Charlotte, North Carolina, number 4, Joshua McClary. A sophomore guard from Roswell, Georgia, number 5, Johnson Bell. A junior guard from Concord, North Carolina, number 11, Marcus Gordon. A junior forward from Troutville, Virginia, number 15, Patrick Clevenger. And a sophomore forward from Leesburg, Virginia, number 35, Gavin O'Malley. Head coach for the Maroons this ninth season is Clay Malley. And now let's meet and greet freshman from Charlotte, North Carolina, number 4, Mason Mitchell. At guard, a senior from Hiddenheim, North Carolina, number 5, Clay Hodges. At guard, a senior from Virginia Beach, Virginia, number 10, Bryce Shaw. And at forward, a graduate student from Greensboro, North Carolina, number 12, Jason Sellers, the second. Head coach for the Cougars.
Welcome back. I am Chewy Clark. In case you were not able to hear, the starters for tonight, starting with Roanoke, is number 4, Joshua McClary, number 5, Jackson Bell, number 11, Marcus Morgan, number 15, Patrick Clevenger, and number 35, Gavin O'Malley. And starting for your Cougars tonight is number 2, Jackson Sellers, number 4, Mason Mitchell, number 5, Clay Hodges, number 10, Bryce Shaw, and number 12, Jason Sellers II. So we get ready for the game to start with the opening tip-off. Let's see what tonight has in store for us. And Jason Sellers gets the tip. Hodges with the ball now for the Cougars. Hodges setting up the offense. Scans the floor, kicks it to Mitchell. Mitchell dumps it to Sellers. Sellers going to work down low. Kicks it up top to Shaw. Shaw pulls the 3, bangs that one down to get the scoring started here tonight for the Cougars. Good ball movement so far. And McClary passed the ball. McClary back with it. McClary kicks it to Bell. Bell gets it to Morgan. Morgan drives in, goes up, but it's blocked by Jackson Sellers right there. And the Maroons will maintain possession of the ball. McClary sets up to inbound the ball. McClary off Hodges' back, puts it up, can't get that one to go. Rebound McClary again, puts that second chance up and gets that to go. Hodges now with the ball as the Cougars have a 1-point lead over Roanoke. Hodges makes the call, goes around, gets it to Shaw. Shaw scans, thought about making a move, kicks it to Sellers. Sellers to Hodges. Hodges spins, kicks it to Sellers. Sellers to Shaw. Shaw cross court, gets tipped away. Cougars will maintain possession of the ball. Cougars coming out patient on offense, making sure they're methodical and finding the openings in Roanoke's defense to get the best possible shot each time down the court. And Mitchell looking to inbounds it to Hodges. Hodges with the hezzy. Floats one up as the buzzer sounds. Can't get that one to go as Morgan gets it up to McClary. McClary spins looking, kicks it out to Morgan. Morgan gets fouled on that one. Roanoke getting ready to inbound the ball. And that is Bryce Shaw's first foul. McClary with the ball now. McClary kicks it to Morgan. Morgan to O'Malley. O'Malley to McClary. Kelvinger with the 3, doesn't go. Sellers there on the rebound. Mitchell up to Shaw. Shaw to Hodges, thought about a 3, back to Shaw. Shaw gets it to Mitchell. Mitchell runs into a double, and that's O'Malley right there. Gets the ball to McClary. McClary makes a nice move, can't get that one to land. Mitchell's on the rebound. Mitchell carries it up the court for the Cougars, kicks it to Sellers. Sellers slows things down. Gets the ball to Shaw. Shaw up top, uses a screen by Sellers. Kicks it to Mitchell, to Hodges. Hodges tried to feed it inside, but Bell comes up with the steal. Bell drives his way in, kicks it to Morgan. Morgan gets the nice, easy points. And that is 4-3 now for Roanoke as Hodges walks the ball up the court for the Cougars. Sellers now with the ball. Gets it to his brother up at the top of the key. Hodges now with it. Hodges uses the screen from Shaw. Gets it inside to Sellers. Has it taken away by O'Malley, my mistake. And Morgan carries the ball up for Roanoke. Gets it in the corner for McClary. McClary knocks down the three, making it 7-3 in favor of the Maroons as Shaw walks the ball up the court. Shaw scans the floor, gets it to Sellers. Sellers kicks it to his brother. Back to Shaw. Shaw kicks it to Sellers. Gets it inside to his brother. Can't really do anything with that. Starts to go to work. Goes up strong with it and gets that one to fall, bringing the Cougars back within 2 as McClary has it for the Maroons. McClary goes to work on Hodges. Fights his way inside, tries to make a pass. Shaw's there on the steal. Shaw brings it up the court for the Cougars. Shaw gets fouled right there. And with that, we will see some substitutions. Number 2, Jamison Graves. Number 22, Timmy Brias, and DeMarcus Tucker check in for the Cougars. Bracey with the inbound. Graves has it. Hands the ball off to Mitchell. Mitchell gets it to Tucker. Tucker looks around. An offensive foul charge there against Mitchell, and Maroons will get the ball.
Offensive foul charge here is number 4, Mason Mitchell is first, team second.
And McClary with the ball for the Maroons as he's guarded by Brisi. Close defense there by Bracey. McClary drives in and gets that floater to fall. Graves carries the ball up, gets it back to Bracey. Bracey has it for the Cougars. Passes it to Mitchell. Back to Bracey. Bracey uses a screen from Tucker, feeds him down low. Called on the travel, and that will be Roanoke ball yet again. Your score is 9-5 in favor of the Maroons.
Number 6, Graham Hamilton in for the Maroons.
And that is Morgan with the ball for the Maroons. Morgan draws the foul there, and that will be an inbound for the Maroons. So that is Jackson Sellers' first foul on the night. McClary with the ball now. Gets it to Gaither. Over to McClary. Inside to Morgan. Morgan fights his way up strong. Gets that one to fall as it is now 11-5 as Bracey carries the ball up for the Cougars. Bracey going to work. Sellers now with the ball. Gets it to Graves. Graves has that pass tipped, and McClary takes that one up for some transition points right there for the Maroons as it is now 13-5. As Bracey gets the ball up to Mitchell. Mitchell goes to work. Bracey back with it now. Thought about a drive, gets turned away. Kicks the ball to Graves. Mitchell now drives in, spins, puts up a fadeaway, doesn't get it to go. As Morgan's there on the rebound, gets it up to McClary. McClary gets it around, kicks it to Morse. Morse's shot's no good as Mitchell now carries the ball up. Sellers now with it. Thought about going, puts up a floater, can't get that one to go. Graves is on the rebound. Bracey puts a three up, can't get that one to go. Graves fights for the rebound and called for the travel as that will be another turnover for the Cougars. And after this short timeout, we will be back. And we are back from that media timeout. I am Chewy Clark, and your score tonight so far is 13-5 in favor of Roanoke, as Truitt has the ball for the Maroons, guarded by Shaw, gets it to Morris. Morris going to work, gets it back to Truitt. Truitt drives in, gets it to Morgan. Morgan back to Morris. Hands the ball off to Gailey, who gets it to Truitt. Shaw with the steal, gets it up to Graves. Graves going down the court, gets it back to Shaw. Now Bracey has it, kicks it to Graves. Back to Bracey. Bracey uses the screen from Tucker, drives in, and gets that one to go off the glass. Bring the Cougars up to 7 as Truitt has the ball for the Maroons. Gets it to Morse. Hand off to Hamilton. Hamilton drives in. Can't get that one to go. And Cougars will gain possession off the ball going out of bounds. And Jason Sellers checks into the game for Tucker as Kelvinger checks in for the Maroons. Bracey has the ball for the Cougars. Bracey to Graves. Back to Bracey. Cross court to Graves. Thought about driving in. Gets it to Sellers. Back to Graves. Kicks it to Bracey. Bracey with 7 on the clock. Kicks it to Shaw. Thought about a deep three. Puts up a floater. Can't get that one to go. Kelvinger on the rebound. Bell now with it for the Maroons. Bell guarded by Fitzgerald. Bell with the 3. Can't get that one to go as Bracey gets the rebound. Bracey tried to get it to Fitzgerald. That'll be a kickball against the Maroons, and the Cougars will maintain possession. Bracey on the inbound for the Cougars. Gets it to Sellers. Sellers over to Graves. Graves back to Bracey. Bracey finds himself a lane, drives in, can't get that one to go. Sellers on the rebound, second chance won't go. Sellers with another rebound, draws the foul on his 3rd attempt, and Sellers will go to the line to shoot 2. These are the first foul shots attempted by either team here tonight. Sellers knocks down his first one, and that brings the score to 13-8 in favor of Roanoke. Sellers' second shot is good. He goes 2 for 2 to start the night from the foul line as McClary has the ball for the Maroons. Guarded by Graves. McClary gets it to O'Malley. O'Malley back to McClary. Gets it to Kelvinger, but it gets tipped. Maroons will maintain possession of the ball as Morgan checks into the game for Gaither. Kelvinger getting ready to inbound. Inbounds it to Morgan. Morgan with it. Drives in. Puts it up. Can't get that one to fall as Sellers is there on the rebound. Hands it off to Bracey. Bracey carries it up the court for the Cougars. Bracey drives in. Kicks it to Shaw, but is fouled on the way in. And that'll be an inbound for the Cougars. And Gaither checks back in for McClary. Graves on the inbound. Gets it to Sellers. Sellers to Bracey. Bracey top of the key looking around. kicks it to Shaw. Shaw works his way in, kicks it to Bracey. Bracey with the deep three. Can't get that one to fall. Fitzgerald there with the rebound. Back to Bracey. Bracey uses a screen from Fitzgerald. Kicks it to Fitzgerald. Pulls up on the jumper and knocks that mid-range down. Great pick and roll there from those two, as that brings the Cougars within 2, as Morgan has the ball for the Maroon. Bell kicks it to Morgan. Morgan inside to O'Malley. O'Malley gets blocked by Sellers, but Gaither's there for the rebound and the putback, extending their lead back out to 4. As there's now 15-11 in favor of Roanoke. As Shaw finds a lane, drives in, puts up a shot, and is fouled on the way up. That earns himself a trip to the line, shooting 2. It was the second trip to the line here for the Cougars in this first half. Coming out of that timeout break, one of the more noticeable things has been that the Cougars, who started off early with fouls, haven't committed one in a while, whereas Roanoke has committed 3 in the past 5 minutes, 2 of which have earned trips to the line, as Shaw is unable to get that first one to fall. And Shaw gets his second to go, making the score 15-12 as Morgan gets Kelvinger's inbound. Morgan works the ball up the court, guarded by Bracey. Morgan finds himself all the way to the rim. Sellers with the block, but O'Malley there with the second chance points. This is now 17-12 as Bracey brings the ball up the court. Bracey dancing around, kicks the ball to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald hands it off to Graves. Graves with the deep three. Can't get that one to go, but is fouled on the shot. And that'll be 1-1. Or my mistake, that'll be 3 shots for Jamison Graves. Graves knocks down his first, making it 17-13 as the Cougars eat away at this lead. Graves doesn't get his second one to go, but still has one left as Sellers checks in for Bracey. Graves knocks down his third, going 2 for 3 as Mitchell checks in for him. The Cougars have started the night off shooting very well from the foul line. Kelvinger gets the ball to Bell. Bell gets the ball to McClary. McClary guarded by Sellers as he works the ball up the court. McClary gets it to Kelvinger. Kelvinger inside to O'Malley. Hands it off to McClary, puts up a 3, gets that one to go as it is now 20-14 in favor of Roanoke as Shaw carries the ball up the court for the Cougars. Hands it off to Sellers. Sellers to Mitchell. Mitchell to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald drives in, kicks it out to Shaw. Shaw back to Sellers. Sellers with the fake. Shaw with the fake, drives in, kicks it out to Fitzgerald. Steps in for the pull-up. Can't get that one to go as Kelvinger gets the rebound. Kicks it up the court to McClary. McClary gets blocked there by Fitzgerald. What a powerful block. And Morse and Hamilton check in for the Maroons. As Kelvinger gets ready to inbound the ball for the Maroons. Hamilton with the ball in the corner. Hamilton to McClary. McClary sets up to go to work. Kicks it to Hamilton. Hamilton thought about a shot, gets it to Kelvinger. Back to McClary. McClary at the top of the key. Hamilton gets it inside to Morris. Morris puts it up, can't get that one to go as Sellers is there on the rebound. kicks it to his brother. Jackson Sellers carries it up, kicks it to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald gets the ball to Shaw, hands the ball off to Mitchell. Mitchell at the top of the key kicks it to Sellers. Sellers cross court to Fitzgerald, and is called for the travel as it will be Roanoke ball. And Graves checks in for Fitzgerald for the Cougars. McClary with the ball for Roanoke, guarded by Graves. McClary gets it to Hamilton. Gets it to inside to Morris. Sellers there with the block attempt called on the foul. Morris gets ready to shoot the first foul shots of the night for Roanoke. Unable to get his first to go. Morris knocks down his second, going 1 for 2, as Shaw has the ball, carrying it up the court for the Cougars. Your score with 8 minutes left to go in the first half is 21-14 in favor of Roanoke. Shaw hands the ball off to Mitchell. Mitchell fights his way inside, puts up a floater, can't get it to go. Sellers there with the rebound, but his pass is stolen by Gaither. Gets it up to McClary. McClary in the corner for Hamilton. Hamilton puts up the three, gets that one to go. Good ball movement there by Roanoke as Shaw carries the ball up the court for the Cougars. That extends Roanoke's lead out to 10 points here. Shaw at the top of the key. Gets it to Sellers. Sellers to Graves. Graves uses Sellers' pick. Gets it inside to Sellers, but Morris is there on the steal. McClary with the ball now for Roanoke. Works it inside. Gets across to Hamilton. Kelvinger in the corner. Knocks down his three. There's a 13-point lead here now for the Maroons as Coach Duino calls a timeout for the Cougars. We'll be back in just a moment after this timeout. And we're back after that timeout break. I am Chewy Clark, and tonight we have a matchup between Roanoke Maroons and your Averett University Cougars. Currently the score is 27-14 in favor of Roanoke as Shaw carries the ball up the court for the Cougars. And Graves called for an offensive foul right there, as that will be Maroon ball. Out on the court for the Cougars is Jamison Graves, number 2. Mason Mitchell, number 4. Jackson Sellers, number 3. Bryce Shaw, number 10. And Jason Sellers, number 12. As Truitt has the ball for the Maroons, gets it to O'Malley. O'Malley to Gaither, back to O'Malley inside. O'Malley going to work, puts a shot up, can't get that one to go. As Truitt's there for the rebound. Truitt guarded by Shaw. Kicks the ball to Gaither. Gaither gets it to O'Malley. Handoff back to Gaither. Loses that one, and that will be a Cougar ball. And Fitzgerald checks into the game for Jackson Sellers. And Graves gets the ball back to Shaw, who carries it up the court for the Cougars. Shaw sets up, gets it to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald gets it up top to Sellers. Sellers back to Fitzgerald. And another offensive foul called there against the Cougars. As Bell and Stanley check into the game for the Maroons. And Bracey checks in the game for Graves. Morris gets the ball to Truitt. Truitt guarded by Shaw as he works his way up the court with the ball. Gets it to Stanley. Stanley to Morris, back to Truitt. Inside to Stanley. Stanley goes up and gets that easy put in for two. This is now 29-14 in favor of Roanoke. Bracey with the ball for the Cougars. Gets it to Mitchell. Handoff back to Bracey. Over to Mitchell. Uses a screen from Sellers. Gets it over to Shaw. Back to Mitchell. Over to Bracey. Gets it inside, looking for Sellers. Hamilton comes up with that one and is going the other way. Gets it to Truitt. Truitt gets it to Stanley. Try to get it back to Truitt. Stanley now gets it to Bell. Bell gets it over to Hamilton. Hamilton drives in, pulls up on a jumper. No good right there. Bracey comes up with it for the Cougars. Run down the court. Slows things down, waits for some friends. Gets it to Shaw. Shaw back to Bracey. Bracey with the deep three. Can't get that one to go. Shaw's there on the rebound. Gets it to Mitchell. Mitchell with the three. Mitchell doesn't get his to go as Stanley gets the rebound, kicks it out to Truitt, and Truitt goes up the court. Truitt goes to work against Bracey. Gets the ball to Stanley. Stanley looking. Gets it to Truitt. And is able to keep that one in bounds. Close call right there as he kicks it to Stanley going down low. Stanley gets another basket to go. That's 4 points for him tonight as Shaw carries the ball up the court for the Cougars. Shaw gets it to Bracey. Bracey over to Mitchell. Mitchell back to Bracey. Uses a screen from Sellers. Kicks it up to Mitchell. Mitchell drives in. Looks inside, finds Shaw. Shaw's floater is blocked. And Stanley gets the ball to Truitt, who carries it up the court for the Maroons. Truitt drives in. Kicks it to Stanley. Stanley with the three. No good on that one as Bracey's there for the rebound. Carries it up the court, gets it to Mitchell. Mitchell drives in and is fouled hard on that one. That will send him to the line to shoot two. Just under 4 minutes here to go in the first half. Your score is 31-14 in favor of Roanoke. Mitchell knocks down his first. And Josh Lewis and Colton Price check in for the Cougars. As Kelvinger checks back in for Roanoke. Mitchell goes 2 for 2, continuing the Cougars' success at the line here tonight. Truitt with the ball off the inbound. Truitt guarded by Bracey. Truitt fancy moves as he works his way up the court. Gets it to Gaither. Gaither tried to use the screen from Stanley. Gets it to Stanley inside. Hands it off to Gaither. Gaither goes up and is fouled on the way up. That'll send him to the line, giving Roanoke their second opportunity to shoot foul shots tonight. Gaither gets ready to put up his first shot. Knocks down his first one. Gaither goes 2 for 2, making Roanoke 3 for 4 on the night as Bracey has the ball, carrying it up the court for the Cougars. Bracey with the drive, kicks it to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald works his way in, kicks it to Price. Price thought about a three, works his way in, goes up strong but can't get that one to go. Kelvinger on the rebound, kicks it to Truitt, who carries it up the court for Roanoke. Truitt is fouled on the floor. And that is Bracey's first foul on the night. That is the Cougars' 8th so far here tonight. As O'Malley checks back in. Truitt knocks down his first. Truitt can't get his second to go as he goes 1 for 2. Lewis there on the rebound and kicks it to Bracey. Bracey with the ball now for the Cougars. Hands the ball off to Mitchell. Kicks it to Price. Price at the top of the key finds Lewis. Kicks it to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald to Mitchell. Mitchell with the three. Can't get that one to go. And O'Malley's there on the rebound, and that will be a foul yet again. And that will send O'Malley to the line to shoot for the Maroons. Roanoke is now into the 1-1. As O'Malley gets that first one down, giving him an opportunity to go 2 for 2. O'Malley's second shot is good. Bracey now with the ball for the Cougars as your score is now 36-16 in favor of Roanoke. Bracey dancing against Truitt. Tries to make a move. Price now with the ball. Price looking for help. Hands the ball off to Bracey. Bracey with 5 left on the clock. Gets it inside to Colton Price. And getting a little chippy here with just 2 minutes left in the first half. And that will be Roanoke's ball off the jump. As Shaw checks back in for Price. Kelvinger gets the ball to Truitt. Truitt goes to work against Bracey. Gets it to Bell. Bell fights his way inside, pulls up on a jumper. Can't get that mid-range to fall. O'Malley tried for the rebound, and after rolling off a few people, the Cougars will get possession. Bracey with the ball. Bracey gets the ball to Shaw. Shaw hands the ball off to Mitchell. Back to Bracey. Bracey goes to work, gets it to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald gets collapsed on, and Bell almost ripped the ball away from Fitzgerald, but Shaw's there to bring possession back, and that would be a shot clock violation by the Cougars. Great defense there by the Maroons, forcing them to run the whole 30 seconds of the clock down. And Roanoke will gain possession of the ball. Truitt with the ball. Bracey guarding him. Truitt gets it to Gaither. to O'Malley, back to Truitt. Up top for Kelvinger. Kelvinger lost it right there, and that will be Cougars ball. Bracy with the ball off the inbound, carrying the ball up the court for the Cougars. Bracy orchestrating directions on the court. Uses Fitzgerald's screen, drives all the way in. Can't get that one to fall as Truitt now has the ball for Roanoke. Truitt with it, works his way inside, and is beautiful defense right there from the Cougars, forcing that jump ball. And that will be Cougar ball. Shaw inbounds it to Bracy. Bracy with it, uses the screen from Fitzgerald. Gets it to Shaw, Shaw to Lewis. Lewis now with it. And loses his footing, is called with the travel. And that will be Fayed checking in for Roanoke. Truitt with the ball now. Truitt carries it up the court. With 20 seconds left here in the first half, I would not be surprised if Roanoke just kind of ran the clock down, looked for a last shot type deal. They've had a very impactful and successful first half here as they have a 20-point lead. Truitt gets it to Morris. Morris with the jumper. Can't get that one to go as Lewis is there. Mitchell thought about it and is called for the travel with just 0.8 seconds left to go here in the first half. Really a little bit like two different teams here so far as there's a timeout on the floor. We're going to stay here. The Maroons came out. They executed on offense. We're handling business on defense, limiting the Cougars' opportunities. And despite the Cougars seeing success from the line, they haven't been able to get their offense really into that flow that they need to and that they've been able to prior to this game here over the course of the season. The Cougars, despite letting Roanoke get 36 in the half, have played good defense. What's really gotten them has been transition and the Maroons' success at the foul line. Going into the second half, I would like to see the Cougars limit those transition opportunities that they give to Roanoke, as well as limiting the opportunities they give Roanoke at the line, as that's free points. And offensively, I think the Cougars just need to work together as a five-man unit out on the floor. They're capable of it. They know that each other can do it. They trust each other. I think it's not a matter of can they do it. It's just being able to go out there and show that they can. And for Roanoke, I think they're just going to want to keep the momentum going. They're going to want to build off of what they've started here in the first half and really just keep that train rolling as it's worked so far here for them. I'll be interested to see how both coaches make adjustments at the half and what we get coming into the second as McClary inbounds it to Hamilton, puts up a last-second shot, and that is no good. That'll send both teams into the locker room. And with that, your score at the half is Roanoke 36, Averett 16. I am Chewy Clark, and we'll be back in a little bit with the start of the second half. Welcome back to the Averett Sports Network. I'm Chewy Clark. Tonight we have a matchup between the Roanoke Maroons and your Averett University Cougars. Currently it is 36-16 in favor of the Maroons as we get ready to start the second half. Just a few first half stats. Roanoke was 41% shooting field goals, 50% from three, and 75% from the line in the first half. And the Cougars were 20% from the field, 16% from three, but 77% from the foul line. One thing, looking at the stats, that the Cougars will want to put a focus on is minimizing the points that Roanoke gets off of turnovers and in the paint, as well as maximizing those opportunities for themselves here in the second half as Roanoke starts with the ball. Kelvinger inbounds the ball to McClary. McClary's guarded by Hodges. Gets it to Bell. Bell gets it to Morgan. Morgan back to Bell. Inside to O'Malley. O'Malley to McClary. McClary with the move. Drives up. Can't get that one to go as Kelvinger gets a rebound. McClary with a corner three and knocks that one down to open up second half scoring as it is now 39-16 as Hodges has the ball. It is Sellers, Mitchell, Hodges, Shaw, and Sellers on the court for the Cougars as Jackson Sellers spins his way inside, puts one up, fouled on the way up, and goes to the line to shoot two. Sellers knocks down his first to open up scoring for the Cougars in the second half. Sellers can't get his second one to fall, going 1 for 2. Your score is 39-17 as Bell has the ball. My fault. McClary has the ball, gets it to Morgan. Morgan fights his way inside, goes up strong, can't get that one to fall. And that will be Cougar ball. Hodges with the inbound, carrying the ball up the court for the Cougars. Hodges gets it to Sellers. Sellers finds his older brother, kicks it to Hodges. Hodges back to Sellers. Sellers finds Mitchell's. Mitchell gets it to Shaw. Shaw puts up a three and knocks that one down. Bring the Cougars within 19. McClary hands it off to Morgan. Morgan finds O'Malley inside. Foul on the way up, can't get it to fall, so he'll go to the line to shoot two. Mason Mitchell picks up his second foul of the night on that one. As O'Malley goes to the line to shoot his first of two. You can tell out on the court for the Cougars, they have a good mix of experience and young blood as they have their fifth year and two seniors on the court with two freshmen. The freshman class this year for the Cougars has really made an impact right from the start as O'Malley knocks down both of them. Hodges has the ball. But the freshmen have come out and been a big part of this year's team and definitely setting up a bright future here for the Cougars as Kelvinger taps that pass out of bounds and the Cougars will maintain possession. Mitchell gets ready to inbound the ball. Mitchell finds Sellers. Sellers to Hodges. Hodges thought about working his way in, hands it off to Sellers. Loses it as Bell steals it away. Bell brings it down the court. Gets it up the court to Kelvinger. Kelvinger looks inside, doesn't Pass it. Tries to find McClary. Finds him. McClary from the corner. Tries a spin move. Floats it up. Foul on the way up. He'll go to the line to shoot two.
Favorite foul on charge number 10, Bryce Shaw. That is his second personal, team's second. Joshua McClary at the line.
McClary's off with this first one. McClary goes 0 for 2 from the foul line. Hodges now with the ball after the Sellers rebound. Hodges hands it off to Shaw. Shaw thought about a handoff. Gets it to Sellers. Sellers fights his way in. Finds his younger brother. Jackson Sellers drives in, fouled on the way up, and that'll send him to the line. And for those of you who are just joining us or are not aware, Jason Sellers, number 12, the 5th year for the Cougars, is 6th all-time in rebounding for Averett. So keep a close eye as he is 36 rebounds away from tying that 5th place spot. So be sure to keep an eye out on that. Keep a tally for yourself if you're interested. See how close he gets tonight and how close he can get over the rest of the season. As Jackson Sellers knocks down both of those, it is now 41-22 as McClary's guarded closely by Hodges. And Hodges called for the foul there, wanted to draw the offensive foul. And that is Clay Hodges' first foul of the night. Kelvinger inbounds it to McClary. Hodges being a little pest as O'Malley now has it. Hodges still being a pest as McClary has it again. Thought about handing it to Bell. McClary works his way in and is called for the foul as he couldn't get the pass off in time. Good defense there by the Cougars, just stuffing and swallowing anything the Maroons were trying to get on that possession. As Hodges carries the ball up the court for the Cougars. Hodges gets it to Shaw, back to Hodges. Uses the screen from Sellers, out to Shaw. Shaw gets it to Sellers. Jackson Sellers works his way inside. Fouled on the way up, earning himself another trip to the line. And Kellinger picks up his 3rd foul here tonight. So that'll be something to watch. Sellers knocks down his first. As Graves checks in for Shaw for the Cougars. And Morris checks in for Kellinger. Gaither checks in as well. Sellers goes 2 for 2 from the line, continuing the Cougars' success from the first half. As Morgan now has the ball for Roanoke, guarded by Graves. Morgan working around, guarded very closely by Graves. Morgan puts up a jumper, can't get that one to go. Gets his own rebound almost, but Hodges is there, gets it to Mitchell. And Mitchell can't get those transition bucket to fall as Gaither gets the rebound, gets it inside to Morgan, who is fouled by Mitchell in the paint. As Tucker checks in for Jason Sellers. Morgan now on the inbound. Gets it to Bell. Bell against Mitchell. Gets it back to Morgan. Guarded closely by Hodges. And Tucker steps up there for the block. Great help defense right there from DeMarcus Tucker. Roanoke will maintain possession of the ball. 15 on the shot clock here in this possession. And Morgan gets it inside to Morris, guarded by Jackson Sellers. And Morris fouled on the way up. Morris knocks down his first foul shot. And Fitzgerald checks in for Mitchell. Morris knocks down his second, going 2 for 2 on that trip. Hodges with the ball for the Cougars, carrying it up the court. Hodges sets up the offense. Uses a screen from Fitzgerald, gets it to Tucker. Tucker hands it off to Graves. Sets a screen for Graves. Tried to set up the pick and roll. Fitzgerald now at the top of the key. Gets it to Sellers. Sellers thought about a shot. Gets it to Tucker. Over to Hodges. Hodges with the spin. Back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald looking around. Gets it inside. Looking for Tucker. Morgan ends up with it for Roanoke and runs down the court. And Fitzgerald there with the block. It's Sellers now running down the court. He'll wait for some company. And fouled on the way up, sending him to the line. Good defensive offense right there from the Cougars. Big block from Fitzgerald, and Sellers pushing transition at the other end, taking advantage of the Maroons not really being set up on defense yet. And Sellers with his third trip to the line already here with just 5 minutes gone in the first half, as he knocks down yet another foul shot. Sellers can't get a second to go. Gaither's there on the rebound. Gets the ball to Morgan. Morgan's guarded by Graves. Morgan gets the ball to Gaither. Gaither guarded by Hodges very closely. Almost loses the ball right there. Hodges, such a tenacious defender, leading the Cougars with steals. You always have to be mindful of where he is on the court when the Cougars are playing defense. He's so quick, so aggressive, always relentless on the defensive end of the court. That's one of his best qualities and one of Coach Duino's favorite things about him. As we'll be back after this quick timeout break. And we are back after the break. I'm Chewy Clark here calling the matchup between the Roanoke Maroons and your Averett University Cougars. Just 5 minutes gone here in the second half. The score is 43-25 in favor of Roanoke as Morgan has the ball, gets it to Gaither for Roanoke, drives in, puts up a jumper as time expires, gets that one to fall, extending it to 45-25 in favor of Roanoke as Hodges has the ball for the Cougars now. Hodges gets the ball to Graves. Back to Hodges. Hodges kicks it to Sellers. Sellers with the three. Knocks that one down from range. Beautiful ball movement, and what a shot there from Sellers. Morgan with the ball, guarded closely by Graves as he walks it up the court. Morgan drives his way to the basket and lays that one up easy for two. Fitzgerald gets the ball back to Graves. Graves now looking, gets it to Tucker. Tucker gets it to Sellers. Uses the screen from Tucker, looks for him down low. Now Fitzgerald has it up top, gets it to Hodges. Hodges gets it back to Tucker, over to Graves, sets the screen there. Good screen from Tucker. Fitzgerald has it, thought about a three, backs his way in, pulls up on a fadeaway. No good on that one as Moore's there on the rebound. Morgan now with the ball for Roanoke. Good double. Bell with a wide open three. Can't get that one to fall as Graves get the rebound for the Cougars. And Graves gets the ball to Sellers. Sellers gets the ball to Hodges. Hodges going to work against Bell. Uses the screen from Fitzgerald. Over to Tucker. Tucker gets it to Graves. Graves with a good rip through. Drives in, kicks it to Hodges. Hodges with the three. Knocks that one down from range. And off that, Roanoke will call a timeout as it is now 47-31 in favor of Roanoke. And we'll be back in just a second. And we're back now after that quick timeout. I am Chewy Clark here calling this one. The Cougars have come out in the second half with a lot more energy, and they're definitely pushing the envelope a lot more as McClary has it for Roanoke. And they've really eaten into this lead that Roanoke worked so hard in the first half to build. As Gaither has it, hands it back to McClary. Sellers is there, knocks it away, but McClary's able to get it back. Guarded closely by Sellers, gets it to Stanley. And Hamilton ends up with it in the corner, drives his way up, and loses that one, guarded closely by Graves, and that will be Cougar ball. As Bracey's now in for the Cougars as well. The five out on the court are number 2, Graves, number 3, Sellers, number 22, Bracey, 34, Fitzgerald, and 35, Tucker, as Tucker has the ball. Gets it to the top of the key with Sellers. Sellers drives in, goes up, can't get that one to go, but it draws a foul and earns himself a trip to the line. Jackson Sellers makes his first one. Sellers has done a good job of drawing a lot of fouls here in the second half. Missing his second shot, but that is his 4th or 5th trip to the line here in less than 10 minutes here so far. He's been a big help in the Cougars fighting back and drawing this one closer, as he has been very consistent from the foul line here tonight. as Moores gets ready to inbound the ball for Roanoke. And the Cougars go into a full court press as Gaither has the ball guarded by Graves. And that will be Cougar ball off of that offensive foul there by Moores. Moores picks up his first foul of the night as Bracy carries the ball up the court for the Cougars. Graves now with it. Back to Bracy. Over to Fitzgerald. Tucker now has it back out to Bracy. Bracy to Fitzgerald. Thought about the three. Now Graves has it. Back to Fitzgerald. Gets it inside to Tucker. Tucker goes up strong and can't get that one to fall as Stanley grabs the rebound. And Graves gets called for the foul right there as he was trying to knock it out of Stanley's hands. And Coach D is not happy about that call. And the Cougars back into that full court press. Stanley gets it to Hamilton. Hamilton working against Graves. Gets it to McClary. McClary now with it, gets it to Stanley. Back to McClary. McClary look, and Graves almost with the steal. Hamilton picks it up and draws the foul right there as he goes up. That'll give him a trip to the line to shoot two. And Tucker picks up his first foul of the night. Good play there by Hamilton to draw as much contact as he could while still being able to get the shot off. Hamilton no good on the first one as Truitt and Morgan check back into the game for Roanoke. Hamilton knocks down his second, going 1 for 2 on that trip. Bracy with the ball now for the Cougars, walking it up the court. Bracy goes to work on Hamilton, gets it to Tucker. Tucker over to Sellers. Sellers to Bracy. Bracy with 10 on the clock, gets it to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald from the mid-range gets it to Sellers. Sellers to Graves, has it knocked out of his hand. And that will be maroon ball as Graves was the last one to touch it. Coach Duino telling his players, next play, which is a big part of the motto that he preaches to his team. As Truitt has the ball for Roanoke. Finds Stanley inside. Stanley goes up for that easy basket inside. Bracy now has the ball as it is 50-32, still in favor of Roanoke. Bracy with the good move. Puts up the three and knocks it down. What a shot there. Great answer from Bracy as the Cougars take a timeout, and we'll be back in just a minute. And we're back here on the Averett Sports Network. I'm Chewy Clark here, calling this one. Not the closest of scoring games, but has for sure been a competitive night here between Roanoke and Averett, as Roanoke has the ball and is up 50-35 here with 10 minutes left here in the second half. Truitt with the ball. Truitt looks around. Truitt gets it to Morgan. Morgan tries to work inside, almost loses it. Gets the ball to Stanley, and Stanley draws the foul. And Coach Duino's not too happy with that call. That is not a good foul to give up, especially meaning that Averett now has 8 fouls. 2 more will put Roanoke in the double bonus. Stanley knocks down his first foul shot. Stanley goes 2 for 2 from the line, making it 52-35 as Bracey has the ball. Bracey gets it to Graves, back to Bracey. And Tucker called on a moving pick. And that will be Maroon's ball yet again. Kelvinger gets ready to inbound the ball, finds Truitt for it. Truitt against Graves. Gets it to Morgan. Morgan almost doubled, gets it to Kelvinger. Thought about a 3, back to Morgan. Finds Stanley down low. Fitzgerald with the attempt, but Stanley's able to get that one up and in. Bracey with the ball now for the Cougars, walking down the court. Bracey goes to work against Truitt, gets it to Mitchell, back to Bracey. Mitchell with it now. Mitchell works his way in, thought about finding Bracey with the fadeaway, knocks that one down. Good finish right there from Mason Mitchell, as Morgan now has the ball for the Maroons. Morgan skins the court. Gets it to Hamilton. Hamilton with the 3. Knocks that one down with ease. Bracey with the ball now for the Cougars. Bracey spins with the layup. Can't get that one to go. Kelvinger's there on the rebound. Morgan now with it. Morgan against Graves. Spins his way with a nice floater there. What a move there from Morgan. Unfortunate for the Cougars that Graves commits a foul there, sending him to the line for a chance at a 3-point play as Jackson Sellers and Clay Hodges get ready to check in. Hodges trying to hype his guys up a little. Morgan getting ready to shoot his free throw. Gets that one to go, completing the 3-point plays. Bracey has the ball now. It is now 60-37 in favor of Roanoke. Bracey gets it to Mitchell. Mitchell with the 3. Can't get that one to go. And Sellers able to draw a foul, fighting for that rebound. And Morris checks in for Kellinger as Sellers finds himself at the line. Gets his first to fall. Sellers looking to take full advantage of the 1-and-1 opportunity. Sellers' shot is up and good. Sellers has been excellent from the foul line here in the second half. As Gaither has the ball for Roanoke. Morgan now with it. working against Mitchell. Carries it up the court. Morgan takes the lane and can't get that one to go. Hodges there on the rebound. And Cougars will maintain possession after Morris commits that foul. That will send Hodges to the line with a 1-and-1. Hodges' first foul shot is good, making it now 60-40. Hodges gets ready for his second shot. 2 for 2 on that trip to the line by Hodges, getting his guys in the full court press. Very characteristic of Hodges. No matter what happens offensively, he's always ready to get his guys ready to play some good, tough defense. As Morgan now with it for Roanoke, fighting against Bracy. Fights his way up, can't get that one to go, and Jackson Sellers is there on the rebound. Bracy now with it. Bracy fights his way to the rim and is tripped up. That will send him to the line with another opportunity for a 1-and-1. The Cougars have done a great job, as I've mentioned before, fighting their way in close, into the paint, close to the basket, and earning tough trips to the line. Bracy knocks down his first one. And with that being said, the Cougars have taken very good advantage of their trips to the line, shooting a lot how they did in the first half, and they went 77% from the line in the first half. Not to be the speculating type, but if I had to guess, I'd say they're shooting around 80 here in the second, which is definitely improvement that Coach Duino will be happy about. As McClary gets the ball to Morgan for Roanoke. Morgan with it, gets it down to O'Malley. O'Malley called for the travel, trying to go to work against Tucker. Great defense there by the Cougs. And it is 60-44 with 7:38 here to go in the second half as Hodges carries the ball up the court for the Cougars. As the refs stop play here. Correction, it is 60-43 as Hodges carries the ball up the court. Hodges gets it to Tucker, hands it off to Sellers. Sellers to Bracy. Bracy gets it to Tucker. Tucker to Mitchell. Mitchell now with it, going to work. Back to Sellers. Sellers looking around with 10 on the clock. Spinning inside, has it knocked away. And the Cougars will maintain possession with 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Cougars will need a quick shot here off the inbound. Mitchell finds Bracy. Offensive foul called. Maroons will gain possession. As Hodges picked up his second foul of the night. Morris inbounds it to Gaither. Over to McNally. McNally against Hodges. Spins his way up the court. Finds O'Malley. Morgan now with it. Finds Morris. Morris works his way up with the floater. Can't get that one to go, but is fouled on the way up. It feels a little bit like both teams are just trading trips to the line here as we get further into the second half. as Jackson Sellers picks up his fourth as Morris knocks down his first. And the refs will go to the instant replay to make sure they got that call right. And they confirm that they got the call right. That is Jackson Sellers' fourth foul of the night, as Morris gets ready to shoot his second of this trip. Morris unable to get that one to go, as the score is now 61-43. Hodges has the ball off of Mitchell's rebound. Hodges goes to work with 6.5 minutes left. Bracy now with it. Great trap there from Roanoke. Bracy able to get it out to Hodges. Hodges looking for Tucker as that ball is kicked out of bounds. Cougars will maintain possession with 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Mitchell gets ready to inbound the ball for the Cougars. Mitchell finds Tucker. Tucker to Hodges. Hodges back to Mitchell. Mitchell with the jumper gets that one blocked. Fouled on the shot, and that will send Mitchell to the line. As now both teams have the bonus. Any foul committed is a trip to the line. Mitchell steps up to the line, ready for his first shot. Knocks his first one down, bringing Cougars to 44 points. Mitchell goes 2 for 2, as it is now 61-45. The Cougars continue their success from the line, which has definitely helped their scoring here in the second half, as Morgan now has the ball for Roanoke. McClary now. McClary finds Morris. Morris drives in, puts up the floater, fouled on that one, and Morris will go to the line to shoot two. And that is Tucker's fourth foul here tonight, which means two Cougars now have 4 fouls, which is something Coach Duino needs to take into consideration, as there is still 6 minutes left to go. Morris knocks his first shot down. And Fitzgerald checks in for Tucker. Morris goes 2 for 2 again from the line. Hodges gets ready to carry the ball up the court for the Cougars. Bracy now with it. Over to Mitchell, as it looks like Roanoke dropped into a zone, and the zone worked for them right there as they get the steal. McNally dumps it to O'Malley. O'Malley with the bucket. Bracy carries it up the court for the Cougars now. Back into the 2-1-2. Mitchell with it. Finds Sellers. Sellers draws the foul right there on the rip through. And now Morgan has 4 fouls, so that is something to watch, as Sellers has another trip to the line. Makes the first one as Chambers checks in for Hodges. I'll be interested to see, with 5.5 minutes left, how long Roanoke stays in that zone, knowing that time is in their favor, and what the Cougars will do to try and counter that zone that seems to have caught them off guard once or twice here so far, as Sellers knocks down his second. And Chambers called for the foul as he was playing a little bit too aggressive right there for the refs. Fitzgerald calls the Cougars together as the Maroons break their huddle. The score is 65-47 with Gaither going to the line to shoot 2. Gaither knocks down his first, extending it to 66 for the Maroons. Gaither goes 2 for 2 as it is now 67-47 in favor of Roanoke. Chambers with the ball for the Cougars. Roanoke still in the zone as Bracey has it. Chambers thought about getting to Sellers. Bracey now with a really deep 3. Almost gets that one to go, but not quite on the mark as McNally has it for Roanoke. And that is a timeout by the Cougars. My mistake, that is a timeout Roanoke. We're going to stay here as that is just a 30-second timeout. Definitely a lot more scoring here in this second half. The Maroons so far have been able to maintain the momentum they built in that first half, coming out not really having an issue scoring. The Cougars, however, definitely turned it around so far in the second half compared to the first. Despite being down by 20, they have fought back, and they have definitely not gone away. Not necessarily the performance so far that any of the guys on the Cougars side would have wanted, but one thing that they can be proud of is that they have continued to fight, and they've continued to try and claw their way back in as McNally has it for Roanoke. McNally finds Kellinger, back to McNally for 3. Off the mark as Jackson Sellers gets that rebound. Hands the ball off to Chambers. Chambers back to Sellers. Sellers thought about a drive. Back to Chambers. Chambers cross court to Bracey. Over to Mitchell at the top of the key. Thought about a drive. Looking for help. Finds Bracey. Bracey going to work. Another deep 3. Can't get that one to go. Kellinger on the rebound. And Fitzgerald called for the foul, fighting for that jump ball. The Cougars haven't been able to get anything going against that zone. It's just been trapping them left and right and limiting their ball movement, which cuts off a lot of the flow of their offense since they run a very fast-paced, lot of movement option in their offense as Kellinger goes to the line to shoot 2. Kellinger knocks the first down. Kellinger goes 2 for 2 from the line. This is now 69-47. Let's see if the Cougars can drum up any answer for this zone. Chambers with it, back to Bracey. Bracey to Mitchell. Mitchell thought about a 3, puts it up to Bracey. Bracey drives in, fouled right there. One of the things the Cougars want to try and do is create better passes. I've seen a lot of rainbow passes, a lot of long arcing passes that are easily picked off if Roanoke decides to jump them as Bracey steps up for his first shot. The Cougars want to try and create opportunities to get shorter passes, make that ball movement easier, and get that zone to move side to side and up and down and try and wear that defense out. As Bracey goes 2 for 2, as Josh Lewis checks in, as well as O'Malley. And Morgan with the ball now for Roanoke. Morgan doubled, looking for help. Finds Morris in the middle, gets it over to Gaither. Gaither, cross court to McNally, almost stolen. Morris now goes up, lays that one in very easily as it is now 71-49 in favor of Roanoke. Chambers with the ball. Sellers with the ball. Over to Chambers. Chambers with a deep three. Josh Lewis on the rebound. Can't get that putback to go as Gaither gets the rebound, kicks it to McNally. McNally slowly walks it up the court for the Maroons. McNally now has it against Mitchell. McNally kicks it to Morris. Hands it back to McNally. McNally drives. Has that one blocked by Sellers. Blocked again by Mitchell. Chambers now with it. Gets it to Lewis. Good defensive stand there by the Cougars. Mitchell thought about a three. Gets it to Lewis in the corner. Inside to Sellers. Sellers looking for Mitchell. Chamber ends up with it, and McNally comes away with it for Roanoke. McNally with it. You can tell that Roanoke has slowed their offensive pace down, wanting to bleed that clock as much as they can with the lead they've built. McNally drives in, can't get that one to go. Morris there on the rebound. Second chance points are up and good for Morris. So it is now 73-49 in favor of Roanoke. And there's a timeout for Averett. And we'll be back in just a moment. And we're back now on the Averett Sports Network. I am Chewy Clark here with just over 2 minutes left to go here in this one between Roanoke and Averett. Chambers with the ball as your score is 73 in favor of the Maroons and 49 for your Cougars. Chambers takes the screen from Tucker. My mistake. That was Chambers. Gets that one to fall as Franz has it. Off the hands of Lewis, and the Maroons will maintain possession of the ball. Out on the court for the Cougars. Number 3, Jackson Sellers. Number 4, Mason Mitchell. Number 11, Chambers. Number 21, Josh Lewis, and number 25, Evans. As Truitt has the ball for the Maroons. Goes up, no good on that one. Morris comes away with the fadeaway. Can't get that second chance to go. Mitchell's there on the rebound. Chambers with the ball. Sellers now drives in. Spinning around, finds Mitchell as that one gets knocked away as he's fouled. That will send him to the line to shoot two. Mason Mitchell getting ready to shoot his first of this trip. Knocks down the first one. Despite the score not being as ideal as the Cougars would have liked it to be, the one thing that they can be proud of has been their free throw shooting. despite Mitchell missing a second. They've shot very well from the line, and their effort and intensity has been fairly consistent throughout the night. Truitt has it. Stanley down low. Goes up, fouled on that one. And that will send Stanley to the line to shoot two. And that is Mitchell's fourth foul. Both teams tonight have been shooting foul shots very, very well. Ramazzini checks in for Mitchell as Stanley goes 2 for 2 yet again from the line. Sellers passes the ball to Chambers. Chambers carries it up the court for the Cougars as we are under a minute here left in this one. Lewis with the ball. Lewis over to Ramazzani. Chambers now with it. Back to Lewis. Gets it to Ramazzani in the corner. Ramazzani dancing, gets it up top to Sellers. Sellers with the drive. Gets that one to go through contact. Good finish there from the freshman. Franz now with it. Full court press almost worked there as Stanley now has it. Gets it back to Franz. Franz guarded by Chambers. With under 20 seconds, Roanoke is just trying to bleed this clock out. Puts the floater up, no good. Lewis there. Chambers up the court now, one-on-one. Draws the foul. That will send him to the line. With 7 seconds left in this one. It is unfortunately pretty much all said and done. Roanoke showed up and executed in all facets of the game here tonight. Really just dominating offensively. Defensively, they had the right schemes in place at the right times, switching between zone and man, really not letting the Cougars get anything going offensively as Chambers goes 1 of 2. Truitt now has it as he's going to let the clock bleed out. The Cougars, on the other hand, struggled offensively throughout this one, had trouble getting their offense to fully click, and defensively just wasn't able to hold the Maroons out of sync long enough. Wasn't really able to stop too many runs. With that all being said, your final score is 75-55 with the Maroons topping the Cougars here tonight. Be sure to check in over the weekend as Averett's women's basketball team will be back in the house. I'm Chewy Clark. Be sure to tune in next time on the Averett Sports Network. Have a blessed night.